Good morning. How are you guys doing today? So this is video number 2 in my chillin', chattin', and clackin' video series, I guess. It's a series. 2 videos make a series. I don't know. But I do know that right before I started doing this typing test, I got probably my best test yet. And usually when I do my typing, I like to type on 450k words English, just because I get like fun, interesting words that I've never seen before. But I think this is English 1K, which is like the top 1,000 most popular words in the English language. So this is kind of like easy mode. So the reason that I wanted to do this is I didn't really feel like, trying super hard. I really just wanted to like hang out and type for a little bit. So I don't know if you guys, when you sit down to type or practice typing, do you like really go in every time and try and focus on improving, or do you kind of just like enjoy typing as like a fun thing to do? Kind of interested in how everybody feels about that. I definitely lean towards just like having a fun thing to do, so I really like, the whole aspect of the hobby altogether. I think that having like a cool mechanical keyboard that sounds nice and feels nice, I'd be content for everything to be like 80%. I don't need like the best keyboard in the world. I'm not about like, going out and like having somebody custom machine a keyboard exactly how I want. I'd be happy to just have like a pretty good keyboard, like, something that like feels and looks pretty nice, and then just like hang out and type for a while, and maybe like put on a stream VOD or something else where I kind of feel like I'm hanging out with someone and just typing away. Or do you guys like to just like be in complete silence and just focus on typing? And definitely like have moments where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna work on just like these couple of keys, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm like improving, even if it's not measured improvement. I know that I'm building that muscle memory to make sure when I do go sit down and do a test, it's gonna be even slightly better, even like shaving off tenths of a second on an individual key is going to improve my typing speed overall. But that is not often. I definitely have just been kind of like enjoying it as a fun thing to do so far. I pretty much tend to take that stance with all of my hobbies. Just kind of like a fun thing to do. I'm not trying to have another job. This word right here, equate, really kind of frustrated me. So like if I get too over ambitious, then I kind of like turns into a job. I know maybe some of you can relate to this. I got into 40K and I bought like 500 points worth of models, and I got them all at the same time, and I put them all together, and then I just had like this mass of gray unpainted models staring at me. Every time I would look over, I would see them, and I would be like, crap, I should paint those. But then you hear like, well, I want to come up with a cool color scheme, and I want them to look really good. So I don't have like, 4 hours to sit down and paint models right now, so I'm just gonna like ignore it and not do it. I think that even if you just have, 10-15 minutes to do something, maybe you should just like go for it. And I think that typing is really attractive to me in that way, that could just like sit down and type for 15 minutes, and just doing that little bit doesn't like leave anything uncompleted. That's like, you finish a typing test, it takes you like a minute, whereas if you spent 1 minute painting a model, the model would still be unfinished and it'd feel like guilty for not having finished it. So I really enjoy just being able to sit down and type for a few minutes, and then I can stop and come back, or sometimes I'll sit down and type for an hour, but that doesn't always happen. If you hear some knocking in the background, I'm pretty sure my cat is scratching at my door because it wants to get in. But I'm recording this video like under a blanket, trying to make the audio as good as I can right now. Well, the last video was super quiet, so I turned up the gain on my microphone, but now all of the background noise is amplified a little bit. So let me know if you guys have any tips for that. I'm hoping that the voiceover audio doesn't completely overtake the video audio, because I know that I definitely enjoy like when I'm able to hear, the keystrokes, and the typing is just kind of like a soothing sound. So I want to make sure that in my videos you can hear me talking and chatting, but I don't want the keyboard audio to be just completely lost, so I might have to turn up the audio for that, and then think about balancing the voiceover audio after. I'm not sure. I'm still working on it, I'm just like taking it as a fun thing to do, not trying to, take a college course on all of the minutia of audio engineering. I just want to figure out what works for me and get it done and just go for it. I think that, and I don't know if anyone else feels the same way, but I think that for me, if I start to analyze too much, I get into that, point of where I'm kind of just like procrastinating actually doing the thing, because I want to make sure that everything's perfect. And then you're like, oh, this is interesting. You start just like watch 100 hours worth of video and only spend 1 hour working on your own video. Seems like kind of a backwards way to do things. So I'm trying to make sure that if I need a piece of information to help me figure it out, and I'm only like I'm looking for that piece of information, finding it and going, okay, good enough, let me try the next one. And then if the audio on this one, it could be possible that you can't hear the keyboard at all. If the audio on this one doesn't sound good, then I'll just adjust for the next video. I got like a couple hours today to try and figure things out, so I'm going to try and do 2 videos. If that doesn't happen, forgive me for that. But that being said, what else can we talk about? 40K is pretty cool. I still never actually played a game, but I really enjoy like getting the miniatures and painting them, and I think the lore is pretty fun. Fun might not be the right word for 40K lore, but kind of really enjoy that, grim, uncaring universe kind of thing. And I like the stories of people in that universe. Read like a couple of the books. Listened to a couple of the books. And those are pretty interesting. It's like this guy Eisenhorn. Eisenhower. I don't remember the dude's name. He's like an investigator or something. That's the series I read. That was pretty cool. Definitely got like a, what is it, like a Dresden Files feel to it almost, where he's kind of like the main character and bad shit happens, but he kind of like finds a way to get through it, you know? So that's cool. I also really enjoyed Dresden Files a lot. I think I'm pretty much caught all the way up on the story. I won't give any spoilers. But yeah, Dresden Files is really cool. That's annoying. I set an alarm here so that I would know when to stop typing. And as I was typing, I was like, I really want to finish this test. So I started, like, just kept typing through the whole test. And now I'm realizing this is probably a terrible thing to have in a video, because I hated having to sit through that and wait to finish. And probably everybody else is super annoyed right now if you're listening to this alarm go off. My bad.